Alex Pangman and Sing You as Sinners, and she joins me now. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
I'm so happy to be speaking with you. A year ago, I kept hearing reports here and there and thinking, oh, you're in trouble.
I was in trouble.
Tell people what your trouble was.
Well, a year ago, I had sort of reached the end of the line when it came to my old lungs.
And you had cystic fibrosis.
I was born with cystic fibrosis, which is genetically inherited, and they were just so used up and so scarred up that I had gone on the waiting list for a double lung transplant.
Wow. And your chances of finding one were?
Well, let's just say about 1 in 5 people don't get their lung transplant in time.
What's that like to live with?
It's scary because you're hopeful. You're hopeful because you do hear miraculous stories of people getting these transplants and it transforms their lives, basically gives them back their life.
Right.
But because it's uncertain, because there's never enough donors, you don't know if you'll get your call. So it's scary.
Yeah. And you think of all the people who pass on signing their organ donation cards. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh, please sign those cards.
Please sign your card. And actually, they're not doing cards anymore. They're doing a registry. Because, I mean, how many people, honestly, have an aneurysm or something and show up in the ER with their donor card stapled to their chest? You don't. So what the government has set up now is a website,
right.
giftoflife.on.ca. You go there, you sign your consent, and that way you're registered in the computer should anything bad happen to you.
So at the height of your frustrations, you're sitting around with a bunch of 78s, right?
Yes, I was. That's right, yeah. The night before my transplant, I was so exhausted. You know, climbing the stairs was like climbing Mount Everest. I did that with the aid of an oxygen tank. And I remember the night before the transplant, I was really exhausted. I had just gotten caught up between oxygen hosing and IV hosing. You know, I was giving IVs at home and just really sick and trying to manage the end stage, cystic fibrosis. And I was so frustrated. And there was this stack of 78 sitting beside me. And I grabbed the top one and I just smashed it. It was very cathartic. I smashed it again. And I smashed it into about 25 pieces. Still have the record. But my husband says that it must have been some sort of witchcraft because something happened in the cosmos. And within about 12 hours, I got that telephone call.
What happened? Tell me that call.
So I was woken up at about 9 a.m. and the voice on the line said, "Alex, yes, how are you feeling today?" "I'm feeling well." "Good. We may have a set of lungs for you today, and we need you to come down to the Toronto General as fast as possible." Right. In a cab. Get yourself down there. And
how were you feeling in the cab on the way there?
Well, you know, I'd had one false alarm where the lungs didn't pan out. And I'd been through the emotions. So you're vibrating, but you're also pacing yourself because, don't get too excited. This might not pan out. But it did pan out. And that was 9 a.m. The call came. And by 1 p.m., I was being rolled into the operating room saying something along the stupid lines of, "Hey, I'm a singer. So when you're passing that big tube down my throat, please be careful." I mean,
they're like, "Lady, the least of your worries."
The least of your worries. We're gonna try and save your life here.
Yeah.
Please watch my vocal cords.
And they did.
Yes, they did. They were very, very good.
Love them, eh?
So you wake up, I was a little bit cheesed off because I was really looking forward. I wasn't cheesed off. Wanted to know who won the election. Apparently, that's one of the first things I asked when I came out of anesthetic. Who won the election?
And this was the federal election?
This was the Obama.
Oh, the Obama.
So,
oh my, there was that day.
It was then, and it was "Yes, you can."
Kind of a magical day that day for a lot of people.
So and I woke up after about 10 hours. The surgery's 10 hours. And then after 2 weeks, you're in your own house again.
Wow. With
some new hardware.
Now, what is it to have someone else's organs in your body? I wouldn't.
Well, for the first while, you feel a bit like Frankenstein. I feel like an alien. I'm all stitched up and I'm not what I was before, but pretty soon somebody else's organs feel like your own.
Right.
They don't feel foreign at all. They feel now as though they're mine.
Do you have curiosity as to who that could be?
I have it pretty much daily. I don't know if they like jazz, or if they liked jazz, I should say, or country music, but they like them now. So, but no, I do. I wonder, and I'm grateful every day for the gift that was given to me.
And the doctors and the nurses and all those people who, you know, we hear all the griping about our healthcare system, and then you hear a story like yours, you think, my goodness, a miracle.
It works. Yeah. It works.
Yeah.
I'm
now
here.
now before you sang and it took a lot out of you.
Yeah.
What's it like now when you sing?
Well, compared to the last gig I had, which was, I just got through it and then thought, you know what, I'm not doing my craft very well. I'm coughing all the time. There's inflammation. There's, you know, hacking up all shades of colors of things. I went home after 2 weeks. My husband sat down with the guitar and we sang a Roger Miller song. And music came out. There was liters of air where there had been almost less than a liter of air. I'm about 2.5 liters at my best now. So liters of air to support a voice which before was, you know, encrusted with inflammation and disease and sickness. It was clear. There was no cough. I lost all my ab muscles because I stopped coughing all the time.
What made you, I mean, you know, cystic fibrosis is one hell of a disease, and it can just absolutely put somebody out of any kind of idea of, you know, exertion, let alone singing.
Right.
What possessed you to decide you would do something as challenging to your illness as singing?
You know, because I was dreadful at math and I was good at singing, so I was really very, very healthy. For much of my life. I mean, I did have, you know, I'd have to go in for a tune-up now and then, but I played to my strengths and I felt I was good at music. The doctor said it was good for me to sing, and indeed it was. I stepped back from the club scene while we were a non-smoking city, or while we were a smoking city. I stepped back.
That would have been brutal.
And then, you know, the past few years, people have asked, whatever happened to Alex Pangman? Well, she was getting sick. She couldn't sing, really.
That's when you were finally running out of gas.
Yeah.
So now you sing, and now you got liters of air.
I have my voice back.
Wow. And your husband sounds like he was fantastic for all this.
Yeah, I won the lottery the day I walked into the Cameron house and met him.
Tom Parker.
Tom Parker, my wonderful...
He never gave up either.
No, he has the happy gene, the positive gene.
Yeah,
so
the half-full gene.
Yes, the half-full gene. And he was great. And even when I couldn't go out and sing gigs, we could still sit around our kitchen and play music together. And that's sort of how our country project was born.
Lickin' Good Fried. Hee-haw! Looks like fun. What made you decide to do that?
Well, we liked playing music so much together that songs came about that Tom had written. It's sort of, you know, I have made my way singing jazz from the 1930s. It's not so much different from country music. They're all songs of love and loss and life.
Story. Yeah.
Stories.
Yeah.
It's just a different flavor. And there's lots of improvised solos. So, I love it.
So tonight, you're going to do a jazz trio thing with your Alley Cats, right?
Yeah, it's going to be,
And that's at 8:30 at Lula Lounge. And then, not having had enough, you're going to turn around and you and your husband, the lovely Tom Parker, will be able to do some Lickin' Good Fried and new country music. So that's good, too.
We're going to play some hillbilly music in a proper supper club.
I love hillbilly music.
It's
I
great.
really do. There's, you know, it's almost like if you hear English folk music and then you hear Appalachian music and then you hear Aaron Copland and you hear all these things, they all kind of come together with that same heart.
They do. I think when people hear the word country, they think they know what that means, but it's like saying jazz. There's so many different kinds of jazz.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
Lula tonight opens at 7 if you want to have some dinner. It's a $15 ticket, which is an unbelievable deal. But Alex Pangman and the Alley Cats at 8:30 first set, and then Alex and Lickin' Good Fried for the second set.